Hey, what's up? This is Matt Malik of TheMalikTwins and H&B Productions. I am currently tuned to C standard, which is a whole step down from your regular E standard. So it sounds something like this. Since we actually recorded on this guitar, what I did was I recorded this in B for the solo part. I actually had to cheat, use my brother Mitch there, Mitch Malik. He had to hold specific notes while I was doing my solo part so that the open strings would sound appropriate. But that's why I have this tuned to C right now, because it'll sound okay without having to do all that extra. You're going to be playing on the 3rd fret, which, even though it's technically an F in this tuning, I'm going to call it a G anyhow for those guitar players that usually play standard. So this is all bar chords, so it's pretty simple stuff. I'm playing the 3rd fret on the E string, 5th fret on the A string. So, and I'm moving to a D here, which is the 5th fret on the A string. 2 frets higher, then down to the 3rd fret. And that's literally it, except the very last refrain. On Harvest Thee was, rather than looping back around to the G, it goes to the, I use the open E string, so kind of a power chord if you imagine the open string like that. So I just have my So that's the chord portion of it. And again, that loops through the solo. So speaking of which, let's get to that. Since it's just in a regular E minor in standard tuning, just using the E minor pentatonic, or E Aeolian for the mode there, E minor scale. So over that G you have there, I wanted to have a really epic, cheesy 80s sound, so I started on that second pentatonic scale there by, on the 15th fret, barring with my 1st finger, I kind of slid into it. So I'm playing both frets there, the B and the E string. And I add my 3rd finger up top here on the 17th fret. So I'm pedaling back and forth between the strings. And I give it a whole bend there. So I come back down and I release back down to the 15th fret and back up to the 17th fret. And that's just a hammer-on and pull-off 15, 17, 15. And notice I have my thumb up here on top of the neck, and I'm using that as my anchor point for some classic vibrato. And I've always said that separates, you know, decent players from not so decent players, is if you get this really corny vibrato, it just doesn't sound right. And I'll one sec here, I'll turn my delay on, my reverb. So all those effects kind of added to the mood. So that's what we have so far. And here's where I drop down into the E minor scale. So that's the 14th fret, and I gave it a half bend up and back. And then we have this phrase that I wanted to have open strings, and this is why I had my brother hold certain notes. He had his finger barred on the 3rd fret on the B and E strings. When I pedal off of them, it's creating the chord that I'm playing under it. It's not everyone's going to be able to do that, and it's impractical to play. I'll just do it open string. So you're going to be playing the 15th fret, and then an open string, 14th fret, open string, 15th fret on the B string, open string. So you kind of get the pattern. Fret, open, fret, open, fret, open. And that last note there is the 12th fret of the G string. And that's for 3 times around. And I'm using an alternate picking method. Down, up, up for each of them. Every time I fret a note, it's a down stroke. Every time I lift off, it's an upstroke. And it's slightly muted, and I open up whenever I fret a note. So 3 times like that, and then the last time around I chose to do, to base it around that 3rd fret position there, I played 12th fret on the E string, open, and that would be the 15th fret on the B string, open, 13th fret on the B string, open, 12th fret on the B string, open. So all 4 together sound like. So if he barred it like this, like how we recorded it, would sound like. To end it, that's what I did. I stopped on that note, gave it a little bend, slid up to the 13th fret, just let it kind of fade with that vibrato, followed by the laugh that Thanatos does. So, and some tips. It may be difficult at first with that speed, so absolutely slow it down. My theory is you always want to have each note given its full value, no matter what speed. So you want to hear that note nice and clear and confident. Switching back from that pattern back to can be strange, so really get to know those shapes. If you get that melody in your head, it's harder to mess up if you have it in your head already. So, and of course that's without pedaling on the open strings. I'll just play the whole thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I'm Matt Malik, Mitch Malik of the TheMalikTwins. You can find us at youtube.com/TheMalikTwins. And that's all for us. Thank you very much. One sec, time out. I almost forgot. If you like these tutorials and you want to see something more, mixing, how we did that in programs, other guitar tutorials, something like that, please leave in the comments below. Let us know. These are fun for me to do. I'd love to do them. So, yeah, please let me know. And on that note, we'll see you next time.